You see flavanols, anthocyanins, proanthocyanidins, and we can go on the whole list, you know. But basically, they're protective substances that protect us from cancer, oxidative stress. So they're the beginning, they're the alpha and the omega, okay? Hence some omega oils, but they're self-contained little spaceships. They can be carried by the wind, the water, they can be carried by animals. We won't get into Gopi Luwak, but you know, they're basically sprouting devices. Now, a baby will struggle out of the womb. The seeds will struggle out of the soil. They have the ability to withstand temperature, time, pressure, and they sprout. There's an explosion. A piece of popcorn exploding, it's potential energy, and they have a hard core. And so those hard things, you destroy the temple, and you're reborn with those natural healing and protective properties. Fireworks. What do you see about the fireworks? They're full spectrum. They're multicolored. There's Veratrol, anthocyanidins, proanthocyanidins. We have ECGC. We have all those chemicals in plants that are going to protect us. And from the great sequoia to the snapdragon to the plants that eat other insects. We have all of them. They all come from a seed. And so we can't live without them. But, you know, do we want GMO? No. You've damaged the epigenetics, which is going to affect our DNA, okay? Our children are going to be putting these things in our body. So if the body is pure and a pure temple, let's put pure things in it. So the core is basically going to start sustaining our matrix. We can't survive without those proteins. And so why are the seeds stubborn? We talked about it. They've got to resist oxidative stress, but as we break them open, we are going to get this 20 times more potent than the vegetable fruit, all of these extracts that I've already mentioned, okay? Flaxseed oil, superior to it. Why? It's limited in its omega-3, 6, 9 ratio. We have the best matrix. Now, I'm gonna give you a mnemonic to remember. Okay, the mnemonic to remember is seeds, power, protein, catalyst, and I'm gonna go forward. Catalyst for healing, and I'm gonna do that for you with the seeds in front of you, okay? Why don't we want to extract it with chemicals? We don't want xylene and chemicals in our food. And it damages the integrity of the thing we're trying to get out. So we don't want toxic solutes or extracting chemicals like xylene in our food. Heat, well, we all know that when you cook things, you make trans fatty acids. If you high heat, cook oils, so, you know, we think about destroying the particles that are necessary for our matrix. Our brain, our cell membranes, as the doctor was talking about, need those fatty acids. We don't want to destroy them. Cold pressed, it's the only alternative. It's the only way to not heat up those substances and damage them. And, you know, when we think about even fish oil of the future is going to have radiation and it's going to have mercury, and some of the kosher laws talk about not eating certain things. Well, many of the seafood is contaminated. And so we have a pure food source now. They're seeds, they can be controlled, cold pressed, not damaged by industry, not poisoned by industry. And the new paradigm of the fruit future is the industry's changing. And when you look at the cereal boxes, you see this. So what do we see there? We see probably the Nigella seed. Nigella seed, we've talked about it, okay? It's black. And so when we start thinking about bleached things, they've lost their integrity. We've lost the integrity, and then they took the fiber out so it doesn't absorb fat in the gut, it doesn't increase gastric motility, it doesn't give you a sense of fullness, and even the fiber in our gut can absorb toxins and get it out of us. So, very important. Healthy oils, again. We have a lot of omega-9s in the human body. We prefer an omega-3 to 6 ratio. And you think about three pathways. We think about cyclooxygenase, lipoxygenase, and arachidonic acid. So those three pathways, we're trying to stay away from the cyclooxygenase. We're trying to increase the linoleic and linolenic essential fatty acids. And I'll speak to you specifically about which plants they come from. Okay, but we want to lean towards monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, get the DHA from the plants, which I'm going to review. Funny thing, okay, there's some ironic information on this sheet. You see a seed, what is that? Well, it's soy, and most soy is GMO. What is soy also happening? Well, in our society, we have a lot of obesity. Our body fat makes estrogen. It's a carcinogen. It's called estrone. It converts to dihydrotestosterone. It can cause hair loss in men and women and can increase prostate cancer in men and inflammation. That estrone also increases breast cancer and uterine cancer. There's the soy. It's got 4 estrogens in it. We don't want it. So if we can get the omega oils, the American Cancer Society talks about prevention of cardiovascular disease and cancer, and the seeds are a clean source of protein with the right ratio of amino acids, not trans fatty acids, not estrogens, which are going to give us cancers. Okay. What do we see again? Black, brown. Okay, we see Nigella, we see that's the Chardonnay, and then we see the cranberry. And so we can get minerals. I mean, that's important. We can get minerals from a lot of things, but the beauty is we can get the minerals and we can get the omega oils that are going to be the right ratio of omega oils that are going to decrease inflammation. Inflammation is the precursor for degenerative tissue, cancers, autoimmune disease. As one of the doctors was saying, fat is the precursor for interleukins and cytokines that cause inflammation. Anti-inflammatory oxidants, we talked about it, the phenols, the cyanidins, the procyanidins. These antioxidants